Welcome to These Are the Blades of Our Lives, the figure skating show where I talk to you about figure skating like it is drama for our mamas. Today's episode is all about the Junior Grand Prix recap. The 2025 Junior Grand Prix. Listen, this season, my babies, the juniors, they showed up and they showed out and they deserve their flowers. So I'm going to give them the recap that they deserve. But you know what, guys? It's really hard for me with juniors because I'm constantly struggling between wanting to bring attention to the juniors because they're so great and they're so fabulous, but also trying not to be emotionally invested in the juniors because so many of my favorite junior skaters, especially in the women, don't transition to seniors, and sometimes the pairs break up, the ice dance teams break up, and they don't transition to seniors, and I've invested all this love and emotion into them, and then I'm devastated. So I kind of feel like this is a little about me. Like, why you gotta hurt my heart? So I'm constantly balancing this act of trying to watch all of the junior competitions, trying to be invested in the Junior Grand Prix, while at the same time trying not to be too emotionally invested. I don't know how that's going to work out. But it was a pack house for both the juniors and the seniors at Nagoya. I am so appreciative of the love that the Japanese fans give to skating and the skaters. You can tell that the Japanese skating fan is so well educated. They're so appreciative. They're so well mannered. They will clap for a skater at their worst moment to elevate them up, and they will go just as hard when a skater is having the skate of their lives. I love watching events that takes place in Japan. I just feel like their understanding, their respect, and their appreciation of skating just makes the whole process that much more enjoyable. So having said that, starting as always with pairs. Pairs was literally the battle between China and Canada. And boy, do I have to say, the Chinese have played next level chess with their pairs program. We know for certain that China has at least a 20 to 25 years of dominance in pairs. They have some of the most iconic pairs in pair skating history. However, they had a couple of years where their pairs there was a struggle. There were just not enough pairs coming out of China, and it was struggling. For them to have said, you know what, we're just gonna let this generation struggle, and we're gonna focus on the juniors, and we are going to build out this competitive, dynamic juniors program is so intelligent. And now you're seeing it paying off with them taking two of the podium placements at the Junior Grand Prix for pairs. So the winners here was Ru Go and Yiwen Zhang. In second place was Shui Q Zhang and Wang Jingfeng. In third place was Ava Kemp and Yoran Elizravov. In fourth place was Jasmine de Rocher and Karen Thrasher. In fifth place was Yu Shang Sheng and Young Bodong. And then in last place was Julia Quattrochi and Etienne Lacasse. I have to say, I'm very much impressed with all of these young pairs and how well all of their elements are coming along. Yes, not all of these pairs have their side by sides perfectly. Not all of these pairs have the twists perfect, the lifts perfect, or the throws perfect. But you can tell from the start of the Grand Prix season to the Grand Prix finals, little by little, every single one of these pairs have made some kind of improvement. I'm a huge fan of Yu Shui Chang and Yang Bodong. I feel like she is such a little diva in the making, and they are such a cute pair. And they have solid foundational skating elements for pair. Their twist is really solid. Their lifts are really solid. They still need to work on the side-by-side jumps and the throws, but they have such nice connection with each other at such a young age that I hope they manage to make it to seniors, because this young pair, guys, there's something special about them. And then Jasmine and Kieran, I feel so bad for this pair. They look stunning on the ice. They are just such a visually stunning pair. And when they're on, you could tell that this is a pair that could be on the podium when they're on. But I just feel like there's there there's a lot of messiness. The jumps are sometimes messy. The throws are sometimes messy. The lifts are pretty good. I would say their best element is the lift. I'm also not a huge fan of their current packaging, of their current music choices. This is definitely a pair that I feel needs to find the right choreographer for them that's going to start catering, tailoring the programs to them. And I don't know if their current program really do that. And then Ava and Jonathan, there's something very classically pretty about this pair. They have they have a very traditional look about them that I find to be very pleasing. You could tell they're very musical. They also connect really well with each other. I don't think their elements, the twists, the throws, um, has the same delivery as some of their competitors, but there's a softness to their skating that I find to be quite pleasant, especially in a pair that's so young for them to have that emotional sensitivity. I mean, they came in here in the Grand Prix in first place, so I feel like they probably were under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress to still manage to keep it together and podium here. Bravo for them, and they're only gonna get better with time. Um, Listen, Shui Zhang and Wei Jiang Feng, nice double axels. Wonderful lift. This pair has all the great elemental foundations we often see from China. They are also the most well matched of the three young Chinese pair. There's something really just amazing about this young pair. Even if they're not perfectly clean on everything, you could tell everything is being worked on. You could tell everything is being twerked. Everything, it's in progress, and you could tell when they finally get everything just perfect, this is going to be a pair that you're gonna have direct, like when they go to senior, after they do their time in junior, you could tell this is going to be a very well packaged pair. And then our winners here, did not think they were going to perform as well as they do. Ryu Gao and Yingwen Zheng, wow, so much fight. The twist, the death spiral, the twist, the death spiral, all of their lifts are all at senior level. Mind blowing. I would say some of their elements are even better than what we're seeing from some of the seniors. Again, if this pair can manage to make that transition to senior after they get that packaging together, after they put in the time and the effort, they can really be a great, great pair for China. China invested their money wisely. They put in the time, they put in the effort to rebuild their program from the ground up, and I can see it paying dividends. I was very happy with pairs. And then we moved on to the men. So the standings here was Min Yuk So in first place, Rio Nakata in second place, Lucas Kaznecki in third place, Dennis Kolglov in fourth place, Taga Mishino in 5th place, and then Haiben Cho in 6th place. I want to start with poor Haiben. This was not the outing he wanted. You could tell that this skater has so much potential. You can see it even in non-jump elements like his spins. But you can also tell that this is a skater who struggles with nerves. The technical struggles in the long program had so many hard falls that my body was like, oh, especially that quad sal. When he went down in that quad sal, every bone in my body felt it. But you could tell this is a skater that has all the foundation. And I'm thinking this is mostly nerves. This is mostly mental with him. Another skater, Tage Nishino, competing on home ice, can either be the best or the worst thing for a skater. The pressure, the expectation, both externally and internally. I felt like this young skater still did an amazing job. He did 2 quad, 1 clean triple axel. He literally showed us how much technical potential he has. Yes, everything did not go to plan at this event, but you can tell once again, this is a skater with so much potential. We just have to give him the time to grow into his body and to grow into his skating. Then Dennis. I really like the Bad Romance musical cut of this program. This is one for me, one of the most interesting musical cut for the Bad Romance program. The free program was also lovely with nice clean jumps. Yes, he has no quads, but he has sound fundamental jump technique and he can build from that. He's young. He has the time, he has the space to build on this sound technical foundation that he already has. Then Lucius, very nice look on the ice. He had a nice opening quad toe, triple toe, followed by several nice jumping passage. A very tall, very lengthy skater. I hope he leans towards that balletic aspect of his skating. I hope he literally embraces how tall he is, how much wingspan he has, that he embraced that characteristics of his skating. Again, was not expecting him to be on the podium here. Very pleasant surprise. Then we got to Rio Nakata. The competitive mindset, the drive in someone so young is amazing to see. The ease of his jumps and skating is amazing to see. That long program had some great highlight, including the quad sal and the quad toe, triple toe. It didn't quite go as perfectly as he wanted, which is fine. And knowing Rio, and the fact that he's coming back from injury, you could tell how competitive he is and how much he was fighting here because he wanted to win. He's one of those skaters with that drive. This is not a perfect outing for him, but I could definitely see this being fuel for him when he goes into both Japanese national as well as junior world. Our winner here, Min So. Oh, so musically aligned with just the most delightful riding edge. Having so much control over your blade and edge work at such a young age is incredible. What a brilliant outing. The open quad sal was the perfect start to this program and to the long program. It only got better as he went along. Not only did this program deliver technically, but the spins, the choreography, the speed, performance, everything was just delivered wonderfully. A well-deserved win here. Then we moved on to dance. I will tell you guys with all honesty, I am way more emotionally invested in junior ice dance than I am in senior dance this season. I would say not impossible. Nothing is impossible. But I think it's highly improbable that we're going to continue to see some of the top ice dancers that we are seeing right now. I think it would be highly unlikely to have pairs like Madison Chalk and Evan Bates continue for the next 4 years after this Olympic cycle. Piper, Gillis, and Paul Poirier continuing after this Olympic for the next 4 years. Maybe Lila Fair and Lewis Gibson might continue, but I could also see them retiring. Definitely, Fabry and Gennard, the Italians. I don't really see them staying around for another 4 years after this Olympic. And what this is going to create is this open space for the next level, for the next layer of skaters to finally get that upward mobility that they need. And I cannot wait for that to happen because some of these juniors really need to get their flowers. So at this event, in first place was Hannah Maria Aboden and Danielle Veslukin. And second place was Amber Pierre Jacini and Samuel Black Kapperman. And third place was Arena Pegani and Autumn Koval. And fourth place was Diana Moden and Theo Bigot. And fifth place was Leila Villon and Alexander Brandes. And then in sixth place was Jasmine Robertson and Chase Roner. Again, these young ice dancers was giving so much. As you guys know, I do not like the rhythm dance theme this season. I think I've made myself perfectly clear. But I will say, Hannah and Daniel was eating up their rhythm dance. They were giving us so much face, so much attitude. I loved it. I loved it. Um, you know, this event, we did see some errors like Jasmine and Chase, unfortunately, an error right off their program. But this is junior. We were seeing errors in seniors. This is junior. This is where these skaters are growing. This is where they're learning. But all in all, I just felt like this is so great to see. We also had like Lila and Alexander, who is a young Canadian pair that I think has so much potential. They unfortunately also had an error in their rhythm dance, whereas Jasmine and Chase had an error in their free dance. They came, Layla and Alexander came back in the free dance, and I was just enjoying how nicely matched this young pair is, how nice their fundamental basic skating skills are. I do think this was not the outing for them, but I do think this young pair has so much potential. Then Diana and Theo. For me, this pair has some of the most interesting lifts in ice dance. That's for both juniors and seniors. Their their core strength is amazing. Please go back and watch their program and just watch the counterbalance of some of their lifts. It is just incredible. They have such beautiful edge. I really believe if this young pair can continue, they will definitely grow to be one of my favorite pairs in ice dance. They are bold, they are powerful, they are passionate, and every season I feel like they get a little better. Arena and Autumn, two very nice outing for them here. I'm not really a big fan of either of their program, but I felt like they definitely put together two solid outing. Amber and Samuel, oh my God. This young pair has so much ice presence. They are so committed to the characters that they are portraying that they completely captivate you in the story. They look stunning on the ice. Figure skating is a visual sport. It's a packaging sport. And this pair is just a beautifully, visually pleasant, well-packaged pair with lovely skating skill and wonderful performance ability. Another young pair that I'm very much invested in to see where they can go. And then Hannah and Daniel, she has the most exquisite positions. Her back is so flexible. I definitely see shade of Madison Chalk in her. I feel like she's going to be one of those skaters that will not be able to hold a bad position. And Daniel has this wonderful extension to his movement that allows him to present Hannah just lovely. To me, this ice dance competition left a much more pleasant taste in my mouth than the seniors did. And then finally, the women. Oh my God. The competitiveness of junior women. These baby beasts, these baby monsters had me just looking like, wow, the next generation of women skating is going to be absolutely amazing. So the winner here was Mao Shimada. In second place was Yoon Sung Kim. In third place was Mei Amokata. In fourth place was Yu Jae Kim. And fifth place was Sumika Kanazawa. And then in sixth place was Mayuko Oka. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This was definitely a battle between Japan and South Korea. It was a battle between Japan and South Korea, and it was so intense. Starting with Mayuko, one of my favorite program this season is that short program. The composition is first rate. The choreography is edited so perfectly to each music accent. This young skater has so much personality on the ice. I also love her long program. She easily had two of my favorite programs this season. Unfortunately, she did not deliver technically here to the abilities that we all know she have. But this skater is definitely a potential world-class skater because she has that it factor. And if you can combine that with the technical prowess, wow, wow, the sky is the limit. Then Sumuka, she kind of gives me a Wakaba vibe. Personally, yes, not the depth of edge or the control of some of her countrymen, but I like how much joy she has in skating. I like how open she is, how performative she is in her skating. And I think she might have a dash of Wakaba in her. I'm going to have to keep watching to see what happens. Then in fourth place, Yu Jae Kim. She had a hard fall on the loop. The edge just kind of got away from her in the takeoff. So in the short program, she just kind of went down hard. She fought back in that long program with not one foot put in a wrong place. That long program was a redemption skate. The speed across the ice, the commitment to maintaining the integrity of the choreography. Honestly, after watching all of the skaters, I would have had her in third place. I would not have split the Kim twins. I would have had her in third place. But yet still I understand why the judges had her in fourth place. It wasn't like a huge let me get my pitchfork kind of situation, but I would have had her in third place. Then Mei Okada. So much ice coverage. The ride out edge on her jump just looks so easy. I do wish though she was more facially emotive, but I do feel like that will come. She's a junior skater. She will learn. She'll be more engaging. She'll look up more. I do think that will come. She had a fall on the triple axel, and that really was the only major error in the program, and I find her to be a very light skater. She's got nice knee bend, easy peasy type of skater, and I do like to see that. Yu Sung Kim, her spins need a little work, but she has beautiful hands and body movement. She's got nice musicality. This was a lovely Titanic program. It brought back images of that old lady throwing the diamond into the water and me saying I would have pushed you right along with that diamond. That is generational wealth that you just threw away. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, the trauma from that movie. She brought it all back. She brought it all back. Okay? Near, far, wherever. I was feeling it. I was there with her. So I'm really happy that she got her well-deserved, you know, silver medal here. Very happy. And then we have the one, the only baby monster, Mao Shi Ma Da. Oh my God. The 1 foot choreography after the double axel in the short program is literally skating skill 101. She was giving them a basic skating skill 101 lesson. She was like, let me show you how it's done. The ease of the triple Lutz triple toe had me going, wow. One of the best centered, well balanced, and fastest spinners competing in both juniors and seniors. Wow, just wow. Aside from the unnecessary quad toe, this skater is just wow. And you guys know I've been complaining about the fact that I didn't think she needed to be competing the quad toe as a junior. I feel like that's leading to some of her unnecessary injuries. But I'll leave that at that. I will get back to just the wonderful soft knees, the held position, the centered spin. Every aspect and detail to her skating is giving attention and energy. Then you add her consistency to all of that, and you have a once in a lifetime skater. You have truly what it means to be a once in a lifetime skater. This baby monster Mao Shimada goes to senior next year. And I am like, wow. All in all, I always enjoyed the junior Grand Prix because I always watch all the competition, and I also watch the junior Grand Prix final. I love to see where the sport is going from the very inception of the skater and then to grow with them. You guys know how I feel. I don't like winners. I don't like skaters who have very short careers. I want to be emotionally invested in the skater so I can be emotionally invested in the sport. So being able to watch these skaters from the junior circuit, having them transition to the senior, having them have long careers, seeing them when they're 25, going to their third Olympic, that is the wish and the hope that I have for this sport. I want the building of champions. I do not like disposable winners. I don't think disposable winners help the sport in the long run, while I feel like building of champions definitely help the sport in the long run. The other thing that I'm so excited about is the fact that we are going to have an incredible rivalry between Men Yukso and Rio Nakata. And I'm talking like the Alexei Yagudin and I'm talking about the Plushenko Yagudin level of rivalry, but without them hating each other, with much more pleasantness. But that's the kind of level of rivalry that I think we're going to see from these two skaters. Coming from junior, moving into seniors. I have been waiting for a good men rivalry since the retirement of Nathan Chen and Yuzuru Hanyu. You know, we've always had great rivalries in figure skating. We had the battles of the Brian. We had, Plushenko and Yagudin. We had Nathan Chen and Yuzuru Hanyu, and so many other just these incredible men and women and pairs and dance rivalries. And I feel like we're going to have another one to add to it, which is going to be this incredible men rivalry between Men Yukso and Rio Nakata. And I'm so waiting and invested in it. But that was my recap for the Junior Grand Prix. I wanted to give my junior babies their flowers because they came out this season, they delivered consistently, they showed up, and they deserve their flowers. If you guys watched the Grand Prix final for the juniors, let me know in the comment what were some of your takeaways.